Welcome to Oyate Today. Oyate in Lakota means people. Regional Health is a proud sponsor of Oyate Today. We believe in helping communities live well. Hi, welcome to Oyate Today. I am your host, Richie Richards. Oyate Today is produced by Tim and Jackie Gallego. Tim's an enrolled member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Our guest tonight is Acting CEO of Regional Health, Paulette Davidson. Thank you very much for being here tonight, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me. It's wonderful to be here with you.
I'm honored to have you on as a guest tonight. I'm very thankful. So for those of us that are not familiar with who you are, could you talk to us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. I came to Regional Health about 3 years ago, 2015, and came in as the Chief Operating Officer for Regional Health. Had been working in a large healthcare system in Omaha, Nebraska before coming here, and really have been in healthcare, leading healthcare organizations all of my career. But I started in probably the most entry-level position there is in healthcare. When I was a teenager, my introduction to healthcare was working as a housekeeper in a hospital.
Wow.
And from then, my career has really developed.
So you went and continued with that healthcare, working
Yes.
in healthcare, and just kind of worked your way up then.
My family didn't have great wealth, and I, in high school, needed to work. I had to have a job, and I learned so much from working in a healthcare hospital environment. It inspired me to continue my education and grow in my experience.
Sure, sure. Now, the former CEO, Brent Phillips, developed some policies that help to improve community relations here in Rapid City and the area. Do you plan to continue with those I guess, that series of policies that he helped to develop and change?
Yes, we completely embraced those initiatives and have expanded and accelerated all of our work in all of those areas. It's important for Regional Health that we improve our diversity, the diversity of our caregivers, the people that work at Regional Health, and the understanding that we have of our patients and our community. And it's important for us to do that going forward.
Just in the last 3 years that you've been a part of Regional, then, have you seen changes? Have you seen kind of that growth then?
Yes. I signed in the fall of 2015, I signed a pledge for Regional Health to participate in the American Hospital Association's Equity of Care initiative. And so the initiative really helps hospitals move forward and on improving their diversity in their workforce, but the ultimate aim is to reduce and eliminate healthcare disparities so that every person our healthcare organization cares for receives similar care, similar treatment, and hopefully great healthcare outcomes.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Now, Native Americans are using the emergency room there at Regional at kind of a high rate, I guess. I don't know how else to say that, but, and as a result of that, they're getting stuck with this large bill, this huge bill that they're unable to afford to pay, and
Yes.
IHS is not picking up that bill. Now, how can this be avoided? What steps can we take as patients, as our community members, to kind of avoid that situation then?
Yeah, we're very concerned about anyone who comes into one of our emergency departments for care and leave with a bill that they can't afford to pay. And we have the busiest emergency department of any one hospital in South Dakota or even North Dakota.
Wow.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing to help that population of patients coming in. But as it pertains to if they're getting a bill after they've been seen by a doctor or they've received care, it's very concerning to us. We've been reaching out to Indian Health Services to try and identify ways to improve what's happening because we don't want our patients receiving bills that they can't pay for. We have a policy that everyone that comes into our emergency department, if they're unable to pay, we're required to bill them. And so it's very difficult for us if Indian Health Services isn't paying the bill. we reach out to Indian Health Services, and then that's where we have difficulty. So we do our best in working with our patients and reaching out to either their insurance plan or Indian Health Services, but many times we find ourselves with our hands tied, and it's very difficult.
Now, just kind of from the outside looking in, is there some type of levels, or is there some type of care that, you know, should be directed towards Susan or IHS versus
Yes.
coming into the emergency room at regional then?
Yes, and we've tried to understand what those rules are as well, those guidelines. What we've been informed by Indian Health Services are those types of medical care that are low level, that are more of an urgent care, ambulatory, should go to Susan. Those types of events that are more of an emergency, like a heart attack or threatening life, limb, eyesight, those are appropriate to go to the emergency department. And so we do our best. I can tell you that every person that walks into our emergency department, we evaluate, we triage, we stabilize. We do not want people leaving if they need care. Many times after we've stabilized, we do treat that person because it's the right thing to do at the time.
Yes.
And that's just our mission, that's who we are, we'll always do that. But we get different information from Indian Health Services suggesting that many of those persons should have gone to a different location or to Susan for care.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. And I understand that part of the frustration, I guess, for a Native American patient who may be feeling an emergency need, when they go to the urgent care up at Susan, you know, they can be there for hours, you know, several minutes before they're
Yes.
seen, whereas coming to regional, much more expeditious, they get seen and taken
Yes.
right away. So I understand that. And once again, though, regional's stuck with that care. So.
Yeah, and we'll be there. We plan to be there for generations to come. You know, our goal is to partner. Our goal is to partner with our tribes, to partner with Indian Health Services as best we can. It's a difficult discussion to have with Indian Health Services at times.
It is, definitely. Now, I know that IHS is changing, and I know that soon, and I know that Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Health Board is going to be taking over at some point here, coming soon actually. Do you see a role for regional health in this transition, or in this, you know, I guess after the transition as well?
We are enthusiastic and excited about what that might look like in the future. I've had discussions with the leaders at Great Plains Tribal Chairman Board and offering any partnership, including what can we do to help make that vision successful? Can we provide clinicians, doctors, nurses, laboratory technologists? Can we do simple things like help with providing any type of service? We have a very large healthcare organization here in the Black Hills, and many of the things that we're doing here, we can offer as a service to create a better healthcare system at Susan for all of our Native American communities.
That would include laundry, IT, anything that you can lease out.
Because if you think about what we're doing today, we're caring for 400,000 people in the Black Hills. So we have all of those services, such as laundry services, food service, laboratory, imaging, and we have over 200 physicians that we employ. And many of those physicians have competencies and skill set that is very difficult to recruit to our area. And we can easily partner and provide support in order to create a sustainable healthcare model for our tribes here at Susan.
Sure. So those supplementary services would really just kind of help them along with that process and such. So
absolutely,
that's amazing. Ma'am, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to learn a little bit more about what regional health is doing in our community. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
It was after his third open heart surgery. Brady started crying and grabbing at his chest. We agreed to call 911 right away. And by the time we got him out to our vehicle, he was completely limp.
He was slumped in Mom's arms, got some oxygen on him right away, and he started to come around.
We were pretty scared that we might have to relocate. Buffalo Regional really let us stay here and not have to move to a bigger city.
They've proven to us that they'll be here for Brady.
You know, it's really busy in the coffee house, not just in the morning, but all day long. And it's really important that we serve our customers hot coffee that's ready for them when they're ready for it.
We get that, Michelle. And our team at Black Hills Energy will make sure you have the electricity you need to keep that Java nice and hot. Speaking of hot Java, how about a cup for the road? Black Hills Energy. Life sponsored by Energy.
You can't predict life's ups and downs. You just give it all you've got to stay on top. But it's easier with a partner like Security First Bank. Since 1898, we've been riding with you through the country's biggest ups and downs. And this is where we'll stay. Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Native Son News has been voted the best weekly newspaper in its class for 2015 by the South Dakota and North Dakota Newspaper Associations. You can find a copy of the Native Son News at many businesses and vending machines in Rapid City and the surrounding area, and on all 9 reservations. We publish every Wednesday, so advertisers and subscribers can reach our diverse readership by calling 605-721-1266. The Native Son News covers the other side of the story.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, our guest tonight is Acting CEO of Regional Health, Paulette Davidson. Thank you so much for being here once again, ma'am.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
And it's a great discussion thus far. I appreciate you sharing this information with our community, so thanks again. Now, before in the last segment, we talked a little bit about the pledge that you had signed in 2015. Could you talk to us a little bit more about that? Because I understand you recently won an award with this.
Yeah, I'm glad you're asking. We did sign a pledge with the American Hospital Association in the fall of 2015 to reduce and eliminate healthcare disparities. And what that means is making sure that everyone that comes to Regional Health for care gets the same type of care, the same kind of care that anyone else would receive, and their outcomes, their healthcare outcomes, are great. And we want to make sure when we sign that pledge, we signed it on behalf of our Native American communities. And since signing that pledge, we've received an award. Actually, in July, last month, we received an award from the American Hospital Association. We were one of 5 honorees in the nation.
Wow.
Based on the work that we've been doing the past 3 years. And so we feel that we're moving in the right direction, but we have much more to do.
Sure. So that was really a pledge to improve the health care for Native Americans on some level then.
Yes, absolutely. We recognize that some of our Native Americans, their healthcare status or their health status isn't equal to many other people in our community because maybe they haven't had access to care or medications or seen the right doctor for the right type of condition.
Sure.
And so we're looking at what we can do to provide greater understanding for all of our caregivers and doctors to make sure that all of our Native American patients that we care for are getting the care that they need, seeing the right doctor at the right time.
But across the board, all patients that come to Regional are getting the utmost care. So
absolutely, absolutely. You know, our mission, our purpose, really shouldn't depend on that person's ability to pay or socioeconomic status or cultural background. We need to take care of every person where they're at when they come to us, and then help them improve their health care.
Yes. Now, I noticed there's been some construction happening at Regional Hospital here in Rapid City. Can you talk to us a little bit about that process? What's going up there?
Yes.
How is that building going to function? Things like that, please?
Yeah, if you go by our campus today in Rapid City, you'll see a lot of construction taking place. And we're actually building a brand new emergency department. Our emergency department is too small based on the number of people we're seeing, so we're going to double the size and have a new emergency department, which should be open about this time next year.
Okay.
So next summer, we'll be in that new emergency department. We're also building a new entryway where there'll be more space for people to gather. In particular, we are building a Native American cultural spiritual room. I brought a picture with me today.
Yes, let's share that, please. Yes.
This is the picture that I brought, and it is a room that we are building. This room should be finished about in the fall of 2019. And it's an 800 square foot room that we are dedicating to our Native American community. And the purpose of the room hopefully will be for any spiritual, cultural program that they would like to use the room for. We recognize when our Native Americans are in the hospital, they bring large families with them, and we want them to. We also want them to be able to practice not only their physical healing, but their spiritual healing and emotional healing, which is important for them. And so this room will be dedicated for that use. We haven't named it yet. We're looking forward to naming it in the future, and hopefully we'll get some great feedback on what to name the room. But we're excited.
I also noticed in the photo here that it's round. It's a round room. Then.
It's a round room.
That's very significant,
and before starting to build this room, we asked for feedback. We asked for feedback from our Native American community, from our elders in the community, and this room will reflect the feedback they provided to us.
So they will actually be able to do certain types of ceremonies in there, including
Absolutely.
smudging, burning sage, other types of ceremonies in there.
Yeah, they are welcome. They are very welcome to practice what they would typically practice outside of the organization, inside of the organization.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things that's interesting about this, and I did see the floor plans, I guess, of where this room is located. It has almost a central location in the new building then.
Yeah, this is specifically located centrally near the front entrance. So it's easy to get to, easy for families to find each other at, and plan to do what they need to do in the space.
Sure, that's going to be awesome. And I'll just take that. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Now, you talked about a little bit about healthcare disparities. Can you talk about a little bit more about Regional's pledge to reduce those healthcare disparities here in our region, in our area?
Yes. So when you compare, for example, simple things, the lifespan of an adult male Native American with a non-Native American in our community, same age, when you look at the lifespan of Native Americans, it's much shorter when you compare. And we're trying to understand why. And we're trying to bring that data and collect that data and build our clinical programs to avoid the disparities, ensuring that everyone has the same ability to access care. Everyone has the same ability to receive medications. And so what we're doing is to move forward and eliminate the difference that you see in a white male and a non-white male, or the same with women. And so that's our pledge. That is our pledge. When you look at the patient population that comes into our hospital in Rapid City, 30% of our patients are Native American.
Wow, that's a huge number.
So we're looking at who our caregivers are, making sure our physicians understand our Native American population. We recently hired a new general surgeon who is 100% Native American. His name is Jacob Wiesel, and I hope you have him on your show in the future.
I foresee that actually. He should be a great guest, and I would really like to kind of introduce him to our community as well. So
yes, we've been holding with all of our caregivers on a monthly basis meetings to talk about and understand our Native American community. Yesterday we had 125 people together, and the topic was poverty. And our Native American elders were present and helped us understand as caregivers how to understand what poverty means and how that impacts and how we can improve those who find themselves in poverty. So when we care for them, we can do a better job.
a better understanding and
Yeah.
a better way of communicating with them
Yes.
for their needs. That's awesome. I wish I could have been there. Hopefully I get to attend the next meeting.
We'll invite you.
I hope so. Ma'am, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll hear a little bit more about regional health and CEO Paulette Davidson's contribution to those efforts. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
If Youth and Family Services weren't available in this community, there would be a lot of unmet basic needs. Very few organizations do as good a job as Youth and Family Services, getting every ounce of usefulness out of people's time, their dollars that they donate.
Youth and Family Services help so many kids. It's a great value to the community.
Join me because together we help kids.
Being connected to him with the earth.
Probably the pride. Pride of being Lakota. Look around you and look at your culture. Look at the people who care about you. There is hope. There is always hope. There will always be hope.
Suicide isn't the Lakota way. If someone you know needs help, please call 867-HOPE, a public service message from the Lakota Voice Project.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, our guest tonight is Acting CEO of Regional Health, Ms. Paulette Davidson. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on our show and sharing this information.
Good.
I'm sure you're busy and you've got a lot of things to do, so I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Could you talk about your Regional Health's board? Could you talk about,
Yes.
I understand you have a Native American gentleman on there,
Yes.
Dr. Don Warren, who actually
Yes.
came on Oyate Today before, so I'm excited that he's a part of Regional Health.
Thank you for asking. I'm very proud of our board. I report to a board of directors, and on our board of directors, we have healthcare leaders, we have local community leaders, but we also have a Native American leader, Don Warren. And I think it's important as we look at our needs in the Black Hills as it pertains to healthcare, having a board member who has a tremendous, credible voice, who can talk amongst our board members about the needs in our community and set direction and vision for what we're trying to accomplish we're just so thankful Don serves in that capacity, and I can tell you he's effective as a board member.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yes.
He's an awesome gentleman. So.
Yes.
And I also understand that students come up from the reservations to visit the different, I guess, programs or areas within Regional Health. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, please?
Every year we invite students from the reservations to come up and spend a day at Regional Health. We actually provide them a set of scrubs, which our nurses and doctors wear, and they get to put on scrubs and for the day, spend the day in the hospital environment, talking with some of our professionals, learning what it would like to be in one of those roles. So hopefully they can think about, is that something they'd like to do someday? How do they do it? Through education and additional training. And we're hopeful that many of those students that we initially inspire continue and think about healthcare as a career.
I can almost guarantee you that that day or two that these young students that come up from the reservation spend with one of the professionals at Regional Health is probably one of the highlights of their school year, and I really appreciate that program. So I did want to share another photo that you had brought in. maybe you can hold it.
Sure.
What is this a photo of now? Could you talk to me about this? I know what it is, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love this photo. It's a photo of our last year's float at the Native American Day Parade in Rapid City. I've had the opportunity to be part of the parade, march in the parade, and lead the float. This will be my 3rd year.
Yeah.
And it's a fun day, and it brings a sense of pride and I think hope and excitement for what Regional Health wants to continue to do with our Native American communities. And it's just fun to see the kids and the colors and the enthusiasm. And it's coming up.
It is. And
Yes.
you're going to be there this year as well,
I'll be
too,
there
then?
this year.
Good,
Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that there's a lot of Native American kids and families in this. And so
Yeah.
are they a part of the float too then? Or
So we've been working on our float, and we always invite any family, any kid, any person in the community that wants to be part of the parade and doesn't have a float to be part of, to be on our float.
Sure.
We provide the candy, and we throw out the treats in the parade, and it's just a fun day. And the bigger the float, the more people, the better. And so anyone that wants to be part of our float this year, come see us that morning. We want you there, and we want to have fun with you.
Cool, thank you.
Yes.
I'll take this. And I look forward to seeing you in the float this year. That's going to be awesome. Now, as acting CEO, do you anticipate more of outreach like this, more reaching out into the community? Is there any programs that you
Yes.
would like to see or that are upcoming? Or
So, you know, I'm very proud of the work we've been doing. We have community conversations, partnering in our community with our elders and our Native American community, which it's a monthly community conversation about topics that are important for all of us to be aware of as it pertains to Native Americans. I would encourage anyone who wants more information about that to reach out to Regional Health. Sandra Ogunrami is our contact. They can reach out to me. I'll make sure that if they want to be part of those conversations, they're invited. Within all of our activities out on the reservations, you know, we're doing research with cancer patients on Pine Ridge. It's called Walking Forward.
Yes.
It's a research
Excellent
program.
program.
We want to make sure those who are getting some type of cancer diagnosis get the right care, just as anyone else would have available to them, to avoid those disparities and ensure that outcomes are as positive as they can be.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Well, CEO Davidson, this is going to conclude our show and our discussion tonight. I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you for the work that you're doing in our community and really putting that effort to kind of help with those community building efforts in our area. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank our producers. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Regional Health for being here tonight. I want to thank Prairie Edge for hosting our show. And I want to thank you for making Oyate Today a part of your night. You've been watching Oyate Today, brought to you by Regional Health.
Way